Hey, this is John Frost with the Disney Blog. I'm really excited to be in the Gran Destino resort today. It's so playful. It's like elevating a moderate resort to a deluxe level with all the detail and all the amazing architecture. And speaking of architecture, I have the executive architect from Walt Disney Imagineering here. I'm just, first of all, what was the inspiration for the Gran Destino's outside look?
Well, there's so many things that we were able to choose from. We originally went back to the original story, and it's really about a celebration of the cultures of Mexico, Spain, and the American Southwest. It's about not only the music and the colors and the food, but it was about the architecture and the landscape and the open space. We found that was the most important thing. As you can see outside the window, we have a huge lake. It's a very big resort, Lago Dorado, Lake of Gold, which is our centerpiece. But it provides that open space, but it also provides the visual connectivity to the rest of the resort. The openness to the water is very important to us, and as you mentioned, this interesting idea of the architecture on the outside, that was kind of our modern interpretation of the springs that's on the opposite side of the lake that you can see flowing down the Mayan temple. It really shows the importance of the life-giving of water and how it was influenced by the Spanish and Mexican cultures. So our interpretation of that was the waves coming down the building, the ribbon that translated itself into the floor pattern that then goes out into the lake on one side and into our man-made water, which is that amazing waterfall fountain on the front.
Yeah, it's really worth it to come in from the front and you see the water fountain and you see all the lines and everything.
Absolutely.
Pulling you all the way through the building.
Yeah.
And the circles and the waves and things like that.
And it even changes at night. We can change the personality of the building with the lights.
I'm really looking forward to see it at night. I can't wait. So I spent a number of years in Las Vegas, and the level of detail that you've put in here reminds me of some of the nicest resorts up in there. That Steve Wynn spent billions and billions of dollars on. I'm sure Disney doesn't have that much that type of money. But so when you do walk into the lobby here, you've made some interesting choices. You're not facing a registration desk right away.
Correct. Yeah, no, there were a lot of lessons learned from our previous hotels, and you pointed out one. It's all about scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, setting that arrival experience the right way. And so we bring guests up to an upper level that we're at now, and you give them that grand overview of the lake, and you connect it with the fountain and the ribbon, and so they start subliminally feeling that, right? And we separated those functions, the check-in function up on the upper level, and then the Barcelona Lounge and the food and beverage at the lower level. So yeah, we wanted to move those things outward so that you can really enjoy that first experience. And that's why we set up those walls with the lanterns, right? They're somewhat transparent so that on one side or another is the check-in, and we have people here to greet you that allow you to understand where those are. So that's a very important point.
Yeah, it definitely helps elevate this space from what you would expect to something almost reminiscent of the Grand California. Mm-hmm. Grand Californian out in California, or Animal Kingdom Lodge out here.
Wilderness Lodge here.
Yeah, or Wilderness Lodge. So
it's not a transactional space, right? It's a place where you want to come back and enjoy and sit and relax and have fun.
Yeah, I definitely plan to come back here quite a bit and sit up in Dahlia Lounge and just gaze off at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in the distance. So you mentioned the Barcelona Lounge downstairs. Now, that's obviously Gaudi-inspired architecture. And so that brings an element of Spain in here, and you have these amazing mosaics everywhere. Did you have to travel to Barcelona and check it out? Where did you draw your inspiration from?
A lot of it came from Barcelona, Sevilla, Toledo, of course, because of the group that Dali was part of, in the 20s and 30s and 40s there. So that there was a lot of reference from those cities. Here is obviously Antonio Gaudi, for the lounge itself. So
the other thing Gaudi is really known for is his playfulness, and there's a lot of playfulness in here, from the hidden Mickeys everywhere to this beautiful mural of Walt and Mickey over here on the side. Can you talk a little bit how you decided to incorporate that into the hotel?
Yeah, yeah. Hidden Mickeys, they're fun and things that we obviously tried to take the inspiration from Destino and incorporate those images and those shapes and forms as well. Not only in Dahlia Lounge, but you'll find them in the hotel rooms, and not only Disney here, but on the other side is the Dahlia tapestry. So it's really about discovery. And they're not set out in front of you so that you can see them plastered in your face. We want you to walk the resort and discover it and really understand it, not only on the inside but the outside. So a lot of reference from Destino as well as the Mickeys throughout the hotel itself.
And so are there any innovations that you think are unique to this hotel that haven't been done at Disney before?
Well, I think the scale of what we're doing here hasn't been done for the size of the resort. I mean, the entire resort now is going to check in at this building. We're going to use the other porte cochere for special events and groups and things like that. We've integrated technology into the furniture much more than we ever have before. Even in the lobby furniture, every bolster almost has 2 or 3 connections. So we realize how important that is to stay connected, especially at a convention-based hotel. And we integrated that into the hotel rooms as well. So there was a lot of lessons learned from convention planners early on in the process that there weren't enough connection points at the existing resort. And we worked very hard to make those abound everywhere here. And so that was one of the biggest things that we've incorporated that I don't think we have many other places.
Do you have a favorite spot in the hotel as a last question?
Everybody's asking me that. I obviously standing here and looking at this is pretty phenomenal. I actually like the funnest spot for me is sitting out on the bench outside, which was inspired by the beautiful mosaic tiled park well, and looking back, and you can see the tower behind you with the beautiful mosaic and the water and the fountain. So to me, it connects it all together as opposed to just being inside the building. So.
Well, thank you so much, David.